Okay, so now we're back to our studio in Toronto, and for now we're gonna just have one of our guests, which is a young man who started his political career a few years ago, and would like to have a nice talk with Andrew Fahmy, which is the executive assistant of MPP Sharif Sabawi in the Ontario Parliament. He's gonna join us now to the studio.
Hi, Magdy, how are you?
Hi, Andrew. How are you? Nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you too. How is everyone? And I wish everyone a happy Egyptian Heritage Month. It's very exciting to see this coming to light and seeing everything happening. So
Yeah, I'm just so happy that we have in our Toronto studio one of our young men who started his political career, I think, 2 years ago.
it's actually a while ago. It's almost 7 or 8 years now.
Wow.
Yes.
So how old are you, Andrew?
So I believe I started.
How old are you?
I'm 29 years old.
So we have 29 years old Canadian Egyptian Andrew Fahmy, the executive assistant of MPP Sharif Sarawi, and he works on the Ontario Parliament, who declare the Heritage Months in July 2020. Andrew, I would like first to talk. I want to give some background about you being Egyptian Canadian, and tell me when you came here to Canada, how did you integrate to the point that you're helping in the politics and for 7 years involved in politics? Because new immigrants sometimes they live in their just let's say enclosure. They having the Egyptian food, they having Egyptian TVs, they talking in Arabic language, and they don't know what's going on in politics. Even when they say a parliament, provincial parliament, people doesn't know what the difference. So tell me why and how did you start from a new immigrant from Egypt to being involved to that level with the Canadian politics in Ontario? And I know that you have also background and work in for the on the federal level, right?
Yes, that's
Just
correct.
tell me about this journey.
So the way I started is back in 2010, I believe. There was some shift in my head. I came here when I was 16 years old. My parents immigrated here, and we chose Canada. And Canada chose us at the same time. When it comes to immigration, you apply and you cross your fingers and you hope that you make it. And my parents took the decision, and we all came in here. For the first couple of years, it was tough to being adaptive to a whole new country, to know what is happening everywhere you go. And at some point, something just switched in my head. I live here, yet I'm following all the media in Egypt, عمرو أديب, كل الناس اللي موجودة في مصر اللي كنا بتابعها المسلسلات العربي, everything that you're watching it all the time.
So what made the shift, or how did you mix the two cultures together inside you, deep inside you?
So one of the things that made me switch is I don't know anything about the country here. We pay a lot of taxes here, and we help elect. We have a very democratic voting here, and we have to be more integrated. And I found that I don't know who's the premier of Ontario, who's my mayor, who's my councillor, who's my MP, my member of parliament in the federal, who's my MPP, my member of provincial parliament. And I found out that there's a lot of parties. There is the Conservatives, the Liberals, the NDPs, the Green. There's a lot of parties that you can see, and everyone has a different platform. And the way I started is I started searching every single party and see which one does it fall more towards me. Not a single party can be fully to where you are or what you want, but there's always that one that you're leaning more towards, or that is similar to your views, or they have something that you're passionate about, whether it's physical responsibility and proper spending and creating more social
It's not like a black and
services.
white. It's just
It's
a kind
not a
of,
black
it's
and
not, it's
white.
not a kind of you're getting a better offer. You want a laptop. You cannot have everything in the laptop. But
Exactly.
you get what you need, or what
Yeah.
fits your needs, right?
You have the Apple, you have the HP, you have the Dell, and you have all
Nice ad,
kinds.
by the way. You know?
Yeah.
It's making lots of ads.
Yes, so it's you have a lot of options and you have a lot of things. And the best thing is to be involved, have your voice heard. I've seen a lot of people that are very, very impressive, and they have great ideas through the terms and through the time that I've spent in politics. There's a lot of passionate people. They know what they want. And I've seen a lot of first generation. I'm a first generation immigrant, and I've took the decision that I want to understand where I'm going to live and how I'm living it and what kind of country I want this country to be.
So let me just ask you some more go deep inside questions about the
Sure.
what you're doing. So I think it's not your start is not like an executive assistant, but you work for different campaigns and different social events and political events. That's why just I would like to tell the audience how a young man like you get involved in and what kind of activity do you do. So let's get, before you go to the parliament, let me tell you this just before.
Yeah.
You said 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Just summarize the first like 3-4 years.
Okay, so the first 3-4 years, I jumped into a couple of campaigns volunteering from my local elected councillors or federal MP at the time. And I started helping them out and see how the process works. And then at some point, Sharif approached me and he took me as a project.
Why he saw you like a good candidate for this post? You know, I know that your post is always busy. You don't answer phones. You have lots of, like hassle. That I know when you were in the studio today, like lots of communications going on. You're texting. So why an MPP thought, yeah, you're a good candidate for this position? And tell me what are you doing?
Yes. So my number one thing that I always care about, and I took this from my parents, and they taught me this, is work ethics. You must have proper work ethics. You have to give your 110%, and people appreciate that when you're honest about what you're giving, and you're in everything, whether it's politics, whether at work, whether you're a pharmacist by profession.
You go with your passion.
Yeah, you do what you do because you're passionate about it, because you care about it. And if you care about what you do, you're gonna give your 110%. It's no longer a 9 to 5 job. It's something that you're passionate about, and that's how you excel. And Sharif saw that in me, and I was his campaign manager in his nomination.
The nomination is that when you are hoping to be a candidate.
So there are 3 levels.
Because we're talking to all people across the world. Some people, they don't know the system. What's the nominee? What's the candidate? What's just MPP?
Yes. So the first step, if you're running towards provincial or federal election, and you want to be a member of parliament in the federal or a member of provincial parliament in Queen's Park in Toronto, that's where I work and Sharif is, you have to go through different processes. First, you have to choose the party that you're running in, and you have to be involved within that party for years and getting to know who is who so they can support you once you start running. So the first step is the nomination.
But you have to be Canadian.
You have to be Canadian.
Right? But you can be a member of the party even if you're new immigrant.
Yes, you can be a member of party from your day one. Like land, you submit your papers, you come out, here is my membership party. You can start at any time. As long as you're 16 years old and you're gonna live here in Ontario, you can do that.
Yes, and once you get the citizenship, you can
run
wherever you're saying.
You can run.
Okay. That's the nomination.
That's the nomination. So the nomination is the first step. It's within the party. There's in Ontario, for example, there's 124 ridings that you can run in Ontario. In the federal
riding يعني دايرة انتخابية.
Yeah. الriding اللي هي الدائرة الانتخابية, and then you start by the provincial. Ontario has 124 ridings. The federal has 338 ridings all across Canada, from Alberta, Vancouver, Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, Manitoba, Quebec, all the provinces. There's 300. So those are the two elections in terms of the federal and the provincial.
And we're the nomination of Sharif within the provincial platform, right?
Exactly. So I was his campaign manager. So it's within the party itself, and I was his campaign manager, and we won the election, the nomination day, and he won by a huge number.
He got the most vote of the members that subscribed to this party in this riding.
Yes, right. Exactly. And there were 3 runners at the time when he was running, and it was a very tough uphill battle. And we used a lot of media outlets, and we used a lot of technology to get people to come out and vote. People need to vote. People need to have a say on who they can get it elected. Yeah. So we worked days and nights to collect memberships.
How long this nomination?
So the nomination,
the preparation until he get nominated?
We started in summer of 2016. And he got elected in January 2017.
Okay, so for a couple of years.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So it was about 7 or 8 months of very hard work and going door knocking and talking to people in different communities and trying to ask them join the Conservative Party.
And by the way, door knocking, just you go on the street where the Canadian weather is minus 20, 30, 40, storms, everything you can imagine. We have like the 4 season comes in one day.
Yes.
So if he ran for 2 years doing this, he was subjected to all kind of like harsh storm, harsh things, rains.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he got nominated.
And then he got nominated, and we won by a huge margin.
I want to talk about yourself in the process. Yeah.
So in the process itself, I was looking at everything from memberships to database to make sure that everyone that we collected their membership, to make sure that they come on the day of the voting and go cast their vote.
Okay.
And social media, making sure that everything is up to date and people are more engaged with us to know what is happening. So the membership starts with from the Excel sheets and making sure we created our own system of an Excel sheet to know assigning a special code for everyone, making sure that everyone come out and know exactly.
Very detailed process.
Very detailed.
You have to put the infrastructure of the database.
Yeah, and we spent a lot of money and a lot of hours. And to be honest, Sharif is very, very hard-working person, and me and him, when we are together, it's a very good mix. We're always on the run. We're always moving. He's a lot more active than me, to be honest, and that I really like about him. And that was the first step. And then after that, there was the election. He asked me to be his campaign manager in the election, but I didn't have any experience to be fully campaign manager in the election. I've helped around in a couple of campaigns, but I didn't want to take the risk.
It's very
that was the first time.
Post and so scary.
That was the first time that any Egyptian win a nomination.
I see.
Ever in the history. There were different nominations. It's either acclaimed or there was no runners against them. There was the only person running. So it wasn't an uphill battle. It had its own challenges as well. But it's a competition.
He's wrestling another person.
Yeah, he's right? 3 people. It's 3 people race.
Okay.
And he came out on top.
Yeah.
So, and it's a team effort, and we're all been working together. So that was the first step. The next step was the election. So we started interviewing a lot of people, and there was one person that came across who was very, very good, had a lot of experience, Peter Pavlovic. He took it and he started working, and I was working alongside of him and another person as well. We were a three-person team, where we were all working together and getting to push the candidate of Mississauga Air Mills.
Yeah. So let's say, so you start as volunteering and then you get involved. So just tell me about the volunteering in Canada and how we just encourage the new immigrants to get involved with and doing volunteer work as like a social volunteering or political volunteer. Just
so volunteering options, it can be very, very easy. You can start from having multiple things. Like I remember a couple of years back, we did something with the Scouts. That I am a Scout boy.
Oh yeah,
and I love Scouts. I know. I really love Scouts. It taught me a lot of things and leadership and having a lot of things to do. From the Scouts team that we're in, we started something called the Closet Group, which was we used to collect a lot of clothes. Yeah, clothes, and from people who don't need any of their items, and we send them to Egypt. In the first year, we sent 40-foot containers to Egypt. 40 foot. 40 foot. It's,
about 15,
you know that huge
meters square.
Yeah, you know that huge truck of McDonald's that you see all over the highway. Those ones. Wow. We fill them up to the top completely, and like we sometimes have hard time closing.
You guys start from the scratch.
Yes.
And doing this thing, and you collected all this. How long did it take you to?
We were going through, it lasted about 2.5 years or 3 years. And then we found a little bit of challenges, technical difficulties, a couple of things, logistical issues that made us stop for some time. We're hoping that it comes back soon. But it was something, anyone who has an idea, you can implement it here. You have the capabilities, you have the options, and people here, people love Canadians because they're nice.
I think this the Canadian nation is if you do like statistics, it's the most nations say thank you and sorry
and please.
Even we have a song called Sorry.
Yeah,
we like Justin Bieber just have a sorry. It's a Canadian thing.
Yes, it's a Canadian thing. And people here are going to have they have that thing that they want to help.
So volunteer is just like you donate time, or you do like fundraising, or to be a donor.
I'll tell you something. That was a very interesting concept for me when I came here as a new immigrant. We don't have that mentality in Egypt. That mentality is not there. And to graduate from high school here, you must have 40 hours of volunteering. And I came here when I was in grade 11. And they were like, in order for you to graduate, you have to do 40 hours of volunteers. I'm like, what?
Where should I go?
You have to go and help somewhere for free. I'm like, why?
Why should I do for free? Let's give me money and let's tip me.
For me, it was a foreign concept.
So why do you think you need to do volunteering? What's the point? What's the benefit
beyond
that?
Definitely integrate a lot of things that they are integrate into the community itself, and help you see what else beyond the people that you see every day. You can go to the hospital and volunteer for a couple of hours. And we've seen this during COVID. We've seen a lot of people giving sacrifices. It's a huge sacrifice.
Exactly. I'm gonna die. Like I'm gonna go in a war zone, and I'm just I'm not armed. I'm in a war zone. I'm just coming to COVID-19, and let's all fight it.
The first
it's not like human thing to do.
The first human to have a COVID testing vaccine was Canadian.
Oh wow. That's good to know.
It's something that people.
It's so brave.
It's so brave, and it's a sacrifice.
He's a donor.
Volunteering is you're giving to the world. You're giving a portion of your time to help someone else, and this is a concept that we all have to understand. When we all work together, we all succeed, and it's something that I always believe in, and I see it everywhere we go. All team efforts succeed. You want a great example? Write this.
Yeah, exactly. Just we could, yeah,
You
correct.
guys have been working very, very hard over the last couple of months, and we've been talking
Just a
together,
couple
me
of
and
months for
you,
only
and
the show. What
uh,
we're doing, yeah.
yes, and just getting prepared for everything that you guys are doing. And I know that you've been in contact with a lot of associations, with everyone,
Yeah.
and getting everything organized. You've been doing a lot of work because
Yeah.
you like team effort, and I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that
just
in you
so
as well.
yeah, it's you know what, even with the Bill 106, yeah, we have the honor to be in the reading, the debate,
Yes,
the second reading, and we
yeah,
prepared like a speech for
that's correct.
was Dr. Hani Shnuda, a member of the association.
Mhm.
So we're being in close watch for what you're doing, guys, and we love to
Yeah,
support this, and that's what volunteering is, interesting.
it
So
is.
yeah. So let me just talk into like some to give our audience some heads up on what's your job inside your office, or do you have an office,
So
by the way?
we have two offices,
Yeah,
one in the parliament and one inside the riding, الدايرة بتاعت
yeah.
دارن
This is for
الشريف.
the people in the riding. So
Yes,
if they need help, knock on the door. Oh, hey, we know we need this.
yes.
Yeah,
Whether it's a healthcare issue, education, problem with OHIP, a
any
problem with
inquiries?
a driving license, housing, uh, any issues that people that might have, they get to sit down and have someone from the office and see it.
Is it
So
easy to just go and see the MPP and talk to him,
very
or
easy.
so?
They call us on the phones, they email us, they do everything, and we make sure that they either if we can get if it's easy and we can help it,
Yeah,
and someone from the office can fix it, they can do it right away. If it's more complicated and maybe needs an attention from Queen's Park, the Parliament, a legislation change, anything of that sort, then that's something that we look further into to see how we can serve our constituents,
that's it.
and how we can assist them, not just our constituents, all of Ontario,
I see. So
in
you
mind.
so part of your job is the writing job where people knock on the door and have some
Yes.
issues,
Yeah.
and the other big part is
Yes.
in the office of Sharif
Yeah.
Sabawi.
So in
Yeah,
so
in the office.
far,
Yeah.
yeah, in the office, in both offices, I don't have an office.
Oh yeah,
I don't have
exactly.
a desk. I find any corner to work in with my laptop, and I just sit in the corner.
Yeah,
I don't want to be too comfortable sitting down,
yeah.
and I want to be always on the
It's just
move.
like work, work, work. There is
Yes.
no break. You don't have a fancy thing. You
No.
just have your coffee and have
Yeah,
fun, eh?
coffee is very important. It's the most important meal of the day for me. I wake up to coffee and I continue going
Let me
coffee,
ask you
coffee,
like
coffee.
interesting question. Okay, so back home, what
Yes.
was your main hot drink? Was it coffee or like Egyptian tea?
Uh, شاي بالنعناع.
Shave banana. Yeah, it's meant to the tea meant, or you meant,
Yeah.
and then you add some tea leaves on it. So,
Yes.
do you plant mint in the backyard?
Oh, yes, I still
See,
have it.
you're still Egyptian, so you're so the mint tea.
Yeah.
I think most of the Egyptian Canadian they have the mint planted in their backyard to have the mint tea.
Yep, that's that. It's a necessity. It's a
Yeah,
need, not
but
a
mint
want.
tea is not enough for you to be awake and sober for what you're doing. Yeah?
No, I need coffee.
Coffee. Yeah.
Coffee is very important for me in the morning and to continue my day, to keep
By
me
the way, the,
on
the
my feet.
brand the Canadian just link it to Tim Hortons, where just with your car drive through, you get your coffee. So without you noticing, you drive get your coffee. Don't know why did you get the coffee twice or three times.
Yeah.
This is part of the Canadian culture, right?
Yes, it's part of the culture, and you must pass by Tim Hortons. And before
Exactly.
COVID, you see all the people in the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're always there.
Yeah,
There he
guys,
is. It's like,
here we go.
thank you. It's
This is the Tim Horton coffee, and this is the maple leaf, by the way.
that is my
back.
cup, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
in the back, and this
it's
is a large size.
yeah.
In the back, there's the maple leaf, which is the Canadian flag symbol. So that's the thing. So you need just to work hard in the office.
Yeah.
And what do you do in the office?
So I oversee the whole operation to make sure that everything is organized, from scheduling to speeches in Queen's Park, to make sure any idea that the member of parliament wants or needs is implemented and seen through to make sure that everything is getting organized as well for him. Whether we're attending event, from looking at logistics, from where are we gonna park, who's going to greet us at the door, how long are we gonna stay there, is he speaking or not, who else is speaking, everything, all the logistics has to be gathered. I have to see that everything is organized, and I brief him on it before we go in. And we have with us at the office 4 people working with us, excluding myself. So we're a total of 5 people working together, and we have a very good teamwork that we have. And it's something that we always strive on doing. We do a weekly food together where we have dinner, all of us
You
together.
sometimes order Egyptian food to the parliament now.
Oh yeah, all the
What?
time.
What?
Last year,
So
in
tell
Queen's
our
Park.
Canadian audience
Yes.
what kind of Egyptian food you like.
So in what
What
Egyptian
kind of
food?
food you introduce to the Canadian
I'll
parliament?
tell you something. The best Egyptian food I love, my favorite meal ever, is, you will not believe it. My dad calls it أكل عيانين. رز وشوربة وفراخ.
What? How can you get this?
Rice and soup and chicken.
How can you
That's
get
it.
this?
I
in the
love
parliament?
that. You can't have it in the parliament,
No,
but that's
you
my
just- you-
favorite
you have the lunchbox.
meal ever.
Lunchbox.
That,
For me, I like
that
the
is my favorite meal.
for me, I like the shawarma.
Yep.
The shawarma, and I just
Yeah.
usually I go
And-
to Osmos shawarma and have
Yes.
the food. This is when I came back like 15 years ago. I just worked in Osmos shawarma.
That was my
And-
first job here, by the way, in
But
Canada.
by the way, so
That is,
see,
that was my first
yeah,
job
we
here.
started in a restaurant where we used to get like shawarma every day. So
Yes.
and we're still continuing eating shawarma,
Yeah.
but ruz and shorba
And no fresh.
and
Oh, that's
this is very traditional Egyptian. So
yeah, that's
and that's the beauty about that's the beauty about Canada, the mosaic culture. So you keep your Egyptian culture and heritage, and within the Canadian culture. So Canada is just motivating everybody to keep their culture and celebrating it. Right.
The best thing about Canada, and I'll tell you something, in Mississauga, you can travel the whole world within one day. You can go to a Chinese temple. You can go to Pakistani restaurant. You can go to an Indian buffet. You can go to Arabic restaurant. You can travel the whole world within minutes. I love biryani, and you can go and you can eat biryani at any time.
And
sushi.
I like the Pakistani kebab.
And Pakistani, Afghani kebab.
And what's funny about it? What's funny about the word kebab and just in Arabic means is the chunks of meat. But when you order kebab here, you get kofta, which is like a ground meat barbecue thing. So
yes,
I mean, sometimes I just can I eat kebab? You give me kofta. What is it? That's about the culture, even the language.
Culture differences and the difference in languages and difference in things. That's the beauty of Canada, that it's a multicultural country.
Yeah.
It's a multicultural nation, and everyone has the exact same chance of winning here. Everyone is at the exact time and can succeed at anything that they're doing. It all depends on you and whether you're passionate to make something or not. There is a lot of chances and there is a lot of opportunities. It's out there. I remember before COVID that we had more jobs than what people want. Like we had more job offers than actually people wanting. So we have a lot of things and lots of options, lots of prosperity, lots of things that we can do. It gives you that opportunity. It doesn't matter what your color, what your religion, what your sex is, what you
I like the way you present Canada. Just you love Canada.
Yeah.
Just I see like some emotion, like hearts and emotions that's coming. Like you love Canada. So I'm so proud of having you, Andrew, Fahmy,
Thank you so
in our
much,
office because you're a successful exemplar role model to young generations. And we would like to thank you for what you introduced and how the way you presented the motivation of doing volunteer work and how you get involved in politics. And we're gonna continue our talk. I'm just so
okay.
I know that I like that, but now we're just gonna present what we're gonna show. So, do you know